Studies have shown that poor communication costs companies $12,506 per person per year. Poor communication creates distrust in the leadership team in over half of their remote employees. And don't think you're safe just because you're making people come into an office. That demographic of people still poll at 43%. I'm Jonathan Green, a public speaker, consultant, and author. And today we are going to be discussing why your communication biases are costing you money. We should first start by defining what communication biases are. So the definition for communication biases are the assumptions, preferences, and stereotypes that influence how we perceive, interpret, and respond to others. Now, whether that is favoring a team member or leaning too heavily on one form of communication, or even just dismissing people's thoughts and ideas that just don't align with your own, all of us struggle with some type of communication bias, but we don't all fight communication bias, which is the problem. Now, communication stretches across all phases of life. It is not just a corporate thing, it is not just a classroom thing, it is also a personal thing. If you are communicating with your spouse the same way you communicate to your students or to your colleagues, I'm pretty sure you run into a lot of problems at home. And quite frankly, I don't have a couch, so I can't be a therapist right now. But there are 3 ways that your poor communication is impacting you, your business, your classroom, and in turn, costing you money. Let's talk about it. Number 1, miscommunication and errors. Whenever a leader in any context miscommunicates or leans too heavily on just one form of communication, automatically you put yourself behind the 8 ball. And by behind the 8 ball, I mean there are going to be errors and missed due dates due to the lack of communication. Your team and your students will not thrive in that environment. For example, my company right now is going through what we consider a transition. And if leadership was not on top of the communication, we could miss deadlines that could cost us upwards towards $8 million. Imagine missing out on an $8 million grant because you missed the due date. You were a day late and $1 short. Number 2, decreased productivity. If your employees or students do not feel like their communication style is valued or heard, then there's going to be 2 things that happen. One of 2 things, I should say. 1, they will be completely disengaged. Or 2, they will be trying to make up ground to figure out what communication style fits their environment, which in turn leads to a lack of productivity and a lack of learning opportunity because they're worried about the wrong things. And number 3, employee turnover and lost opportunities. Employee turnover is one of the hottest topics within the community right now because people are just bouncing from job to job to job to job to job to job because there's either better opportunities or they feel more heard and included. Building inclusive environments are very key, but being able to communicate that this is an inclusive environment is even more key. So, employee turnover. Whenever you lose out on an employee, you miss out on creative ideas that can either save or make the company money. On top of that, replacing that employee can cost you upwards towards 2 times their actual salary. It's always cheaper to retain than it is to replace. At this point, we should all understand that communication biases are detrimental, but how to overcome communication biases is what we're really here for. And I like to remember it with an acronym. You guys know I love my acronyms. So the acronym is SAFE. Number 1, self-awareness. Start by identifying your own communication preferences and how they might be influencing your decisions. 2, adaptability. Adapt your communication style to meet the needs of your team, whether that means using visual aids, written summaries, or even one-on-one check-ins. 3, fostered inclusion. Encourage diverse perspectives and make sure everyone feels comfortable sharing their ideas. 4, effective feedback. Ask your team for honest feedback about your communication style and how it impacts them. And so I guess I say all of that to say that miscommunication and errors, decreased productivity, employee turnover, and lost opportunities are all side effects of poor communication from a leadership position. Your students and your employees do not deserve to have somebody who does not know how to communicate to everybody in the room. You lose out on so much talent and so much valuable time when you're in the classroom if you don't know how to do so. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Also, leave a comment if it's a topic that you want me to cover. Thank you so much. Welcome to the family.